Hello, my name is Randy Rolfe, and I'm an independent Nikken consultant in active wellness. And this is one of many live videos that are also recorded on the royalalliance.com, many of them. And it's by us independent consultants trying to share more of our experience, especially for new people, but also we learn as we go along how wonderful Nikken products are. So this is a product showcase. We're going to talk about Nikken technologies primarily, but if you're interested in the business, there are other live programs that go into more of it, and also there are many, many videos specifically on specific technologies if you're interested in those. So I'm going to share my screen right now and share let me see if I can find it. It's not happening. Okay, wait a minute. There it is. To keep me on track for introducing you to Nikken's Discover Active Wellness philosophy and living a life in balance. I discovered Nikken 19 and a half years ago, and I was looking for something, a way to reach more people with what I knew about natural health. And I had been, that's weird. Okay, I'd been a lawyer in the 70s and 80s, and when I had my children, I wanted to be home with them, and I was having so much fun being a parent that I started writing books on parenting, and that led to family counseling practice, which I did while the kids were growing up. And I also became certified in nutrition and shared that with my clients. And so in the 90s, I was looking for a way to share more about the importance of natural living and good nutrition. And that's when I learned about Nikken. And I grabbed onto it immediately because it was all about bringing us back to Earth's natural energy, which I had learned about when I was living in upstate New York in an old farmhouse, and we were not blocked from the earth by concrete, and we minimized the electrical wiring in our house. And we also volunteered as lawyers to help a case where farmers and Indians were fighting the New York State Power Authority, which was one of the biggest utilities in the country, who wanted to put an ultra-high voltage transmission line across the farmers and Indians' land. And we learned the testimonials from the ultra-high voltage transmission lines that already existed in Canada, where there was more cancer near them, and the dairy cows were more infertile. Some of them had two-headed calves, and we saw pictures of dandelions 14 inches across with, you know, somebody's hand beside it, so we knew the picture was real. And so we realized that electromagnetic pollution is a very serious problem for human health. So when I found out about this company in the 70s that started in Japan that had figured out a way to bring us back to that natural energy and help create a microenvironment to keep us healthy, I immediately got excited about it. And I wanted to share it with others, but I thought, well, what if they don't appreciate what our electrical modern life is doing to our health? And what I found was it didn't matter, because when people tried these products, they felt better. They were sleeping better. They had better energy. They had better balance. They made wiser decisions. And it's all about the daily decisions we make. The compounding effect of daily choices and habits determines our quality of life. And if you're watching the video, the humans being more, when you're making good choices every day, that's the motto of the company, humans being more. And our lifestyle choices can drag us down. We can become humans under stress, humans being less. So those small choices and consistency over time create a huge difference the biggest difference for our health, our relationships, whether families get along together. Often depends on whether people are eating right, getting enough sleep, feeling happy during the day. And it can impact, of course, your ability to earn a good living, to feel good about your work, to get the income you need to support your family and to feel successful. So those little decisions every day make all the difference. And if we leave it to chance, we can see from the statistics of our health facts today, the environment we live in, it's really a sickness care system if we wait till our bodies fall apart and we go to the medical world, to drugs and surgery. Instead, we need to take control of our own health and do what we can to support it, to minimize our chronic illness and to stay out of the medical system as long as we can, and certainly not die early. We're dying way sooner than we should, and because of heart disease, diabetes, stroke, and our quality of life is diminished by fatigue, allergies, depression, sleep problems, and weight problems. And all of these things are significantly worse because of stress. Chronic stress is a huge contributor to our disease states, and it's worse than it was 20 years ago. So many people are on mood-altering drugs now because of serious stress. Just a moment, let me see if this is my guest. She's having trouble getting on. Can't connect. Let me see. Just a moment. Let me see what I can do. What is the Zoom meeting number and ID? Oh, okay. Let me just tell her how to get on the Live Royal Alliance. Just a moment. Live. Okay. So 70% of Americans have sleep issues, and we know one poor night's sleep drops the immune system by 30 to 60%. So after the holidays, when people have strange schedules, or if they're under, trying to finish their taxes right now, not sleeping well, they're vulnerable to these spring allergies and infections that people are getting right now. And students that stay up late at night studying and then they get sick during exam week. This is all because of this effect that our immune system, our nervous system, even our brain and our muscles rebuild during deep sleep at night. And if we don't get that, we are vulnerable. Air and water pollution is extremely common. There are headlines every day. Our indoor pollution in most areas in the U.S. is worse than outdoor because we've concentrated chemicals and the harmful positive ions into our interior spaces, and we're spending over 90% of our time in interior spaces. So we're getting toxins from our chemicals, from our cleaners, from even our furnishings. And the water pollution, since Flint, Michigan is a top headline, and many cities are admitting that their lead levels are too high too. And in Pennsylvania, they're saying that the water that kids are drinking out of the tap in their schools is unacceptable for high lead content. The people who suffer the most are our kids, and they're now predicting that our children will not live as long as we do in the baby boomer generation, or even their own parents. Obesity rates are at their highest ever, 36%. 78 million adults around the U.S. and 12 million children out of about 100 million actually obese. 1 out of every 5 adolescents is obese. And we know it's because they have inadequate consumption of essential nutrients and too many junk calories. And we see at younger and younger ages cardiovascular disease, cancer, and diabetes, and other issues. And it's not because we're living longer. Our kids are getting these problems earlier, and so are adults. Less than half of adolescents eat the needed amount of vegetables. Less than a third are getting over a third. 27% of school children aren't getting the activities they are supposed to. And it's understandable. They don't have energy, and many of them are overweight. Low-income families, of course, have it worse. More stress, anxiety, depression, food deserts as far as healthy produce and fresh foods, and often not as good access to health care. So that's unacceptable in the wealthiest country in the world. So what is the answer? It is about humans being more through active wellness. We need to become aware of and make choices based on good information of how to support their body with healthy, natural living. Be healthy by choice, not by chance. So Nikken is the only international company with a balanced, comprehensive approach to natural health. And it's holistic. From the beginning, the founder, Mr. Masuda, believed that a healthy, happy life depended on balance in all 5 areas: healthy mind, healthy body, healthy family, healthy society, and healthy finances. And when I gave up law, I thought maybe I'd let go of the finances. But when I discovered Nikken, I rediscovered that I could have the good, healthy finances and not sacrifice surrounding myself with good people, having time for my health, for my family, for contributing to society, and building a good, happy attitude. Active wellness is about getting involved in taking care of your own wellness, self-care. And Nikken gives us the advantage. It creates a favorable and superior position for better health. And Nikken started out by bringing the earth energy to us in insoles. And in the first 4 years, in the late 70s, they became the fastest growing company in the history of Japan. And they still hold that record, even though we know many, many big companies from Japan that are doing really well. And Nikken is the leader in the healthcare coming from Japan. Then they added a magnetic sleep system, water systems, wonderful top grade nutritional line, a wonderful a light system I have here on my desk, and an air system. So this is a quick look at the products. We basically put them in 3 categories. I'm going to start at the rest and relaxation because that's where it all got started. And what's so unique about Nikken is that they have a lock on patented effective magnetic technology, which they have in their pads, in the insoles, in the sleep system. Truly amazing. Then they added the warming, balancing energy of the sun, which is the far infrared frequencies, and that's also now embedded in all those rest and relaxation products. In the environment, we have the water system and the air system, which do all the same kind of filtration as nature does. The waterfall system is unique in combining alkalizing, mineralizing, purifying, and energizing the water. You just put the tap water in the top, and when it comes out the little faucet, it's Mag water and tastes fantastic and hydrates like nothing else. We have the same technologies in our shower system, and the lights are full spectrum, no flickering. They're LED, stable light, and extra blue to help with their day-night cycle and give us the same kind of visual light that we get outdoors. The air system also filters as nature does, but it generates the healthy negative ions. that you get in the forest or by a waterfall or on the beach with breaking waves. And so that helps get rid of particles in the air and give us those good negative ions that refresh us and relax us. The nutrition line is unique. I could spend an hour on that. It's organic based, whole foods based. Nothing's mega dosed, everything's formulated in balance and labeled so you know, okay, this is for detoxifying the liver, this is for the nervous system and the brain, this is for the digestion, this is for the bone health. Truly amazing. Nothing has bad side effects. Everything has wonderfully surprising, sometimes good side effects. Our skincare is eco-certified, wonderful, feels great, really cleanses the skin like nothing else and nourishes it. So now I'm going to move on. I hope my, let's see, my guest is here. Oops, I have to get back to my, let's see, where is the, exit.
I'm here.
Yes, I'm looking for you. There we go. Here we go. All right, Ann. This is Ann Brienza. So glad you could join us. Let me get rid of this. There we go. Now I can see you. All right. I'm so glad you were able to join us, Ann. I'd love to have you share. Let me see if there's some other noise coming. No, just me and you. Okay. So I'd love to ask you, what were you doing before you discovered Nikken, and what got your attention with Nikken?
Well, thank you, Randy, for helping us as mutual Nikkenites. I appreciate that you invited me onto the call this morning. Before I was introduced to Nikken, I was a middle school, high school history teacher, and then I decided to teach my own kids when they became, able to read and write. But I left the teaching to be a full-time mom. And then my husband and I decided to leave the rat race of Long Island and New York City and to the country of New Hampshire, the countryside. And we were very excited about our new home we built. And so we embarked on a venture with our 2 young children, and he decided to retire early from a Wall Street career and I from my teaching career, and we were going to rough it up in the hills of New Hampshire. Very fortunate we weren't roughing it. We had built a beautiful new home. But I found that I was trying to settle everyone, make everyone happy, as moms often do. And I was placing children in schools, trying to acquaint them, coaching, working as a religious instructor too on the side, and gardening and maintaining the house. It was hectic, as many moms have a full-time mom job, but also have a lot of volunteer work. I found that at night I wasn't resting. I was sleeping sporadically, and when I woke, my hands bothered me. So I decided that I would go check it out, and I was diagnosed with stress, which was really pretty funny, being that we had left a stressful environment to a non-stressful environment, but we create our own stress sometimes. So I was struggling with hands that hurt and wakefulness, and my wonderful niece, Suzanne Steele, had found relief from a serious car accident she had with a lot of the Nikken products. So she shared with me her experience, and I was able to try some of the products firsthand and noticed relief immediately from being on a magnetic sleep mattress. This was 16 years ago.
My goodness, we have so much in common. We had left the Philadelphia area to buy that old house up in upstate New York, and we did homeschool our kids. And we figured, as being 2 lawyers, we ought to be able to educate them at least through high school. And but then, like you said, we still had stress, and we had some financial stress, and we we didn't have any complaints, but like I said before, we really wanted to find a way to share more of what we'd learned about natural living, and Nikken was the vehicle. So you got a good sleep experience right away. So how have you been using the product since then? And tell us about the last 16 years of Nikken.
Well, what happened is I got such relief. Of course, I started telling my friends, and I would invite people over to my home and have Suzanne explain everything. And of course, I would hand people her card. And I was trying to help her grow her business, but then I was noticing that she was getting all the checks and I wasn't. So she invited me to join her team, and with her help, which was very critical, with her help, I met with friends and acquaintances and introduced Nikken to them, and was able to, instead of going back to teaching on a substitute basis, which I really did not want to do, I was able to create a Nikken wellness home for us and wellness business for myself, and also introduce the products to many people and try to share what we had learned. We have a wellness home. All the things that you had mentioned, we have in our home, and enjoy them. And I feel better at my age now, at 66, than I did in my 30s, because I just have embarked on trying to live a healthy lifestyle. I'm an avid skier. Put my skis away just this morning because we had some meltdown up here in the mountains. So they're away, but my water ski is waiting for the lake to open. I play golf and carry my clubs and just really enjoy like biking and hiking. So being in New Hampshire, it really affords us that kind of living. The best part is that every time I share Nikken with someone, they feel better too, and that's very rewarding.
Yeah, isn't it amazing? And to have people in our generation, I'm 69, in our 60s, just as active as we ever were, and sometimes even more so, because we recover so much more quickly. And that's what athletes love, that they can recover so quickly. And so they can keep up their profession. But even when we're just doing fun stuff for the fun of it, and it just allows us to extend our active life, which is basically builds our health into the late years. And for young people, I think there's seeing a lot of sorry about the feedback. We're seeing some young people that are discouraged by watching older people go through the medical age process, and they want to avoid those kinds of problems themselves by learning about Nikken's active wellness and self-care.
Precisely.
So what is your recommendation for younger people, Anne?
Well, I guess, first of all, to have the desire to not only live a happy and healthy lifestyle for yourself and your family, but also to create those genes so that when you decide to have your own family, you're going to have healthy little ones. And I'm especially excited because we're expecting our first grandson this summer. And I can't wait to have the energy to be able to participate in all the activities that we're going to be embarking on, aside from skiing, and just being able to keep up with him and enjoy it. So for younger people, start out, basically the water is so key, and sleep are so key to life. And so I would suggest that they start out trying a Nikken water bottle, trying the insoles. My both daughters are very active and have wellness homes. One has a wellness apartment. And so I think that it's affordable if you start small, and also sharing it with your friends allows you to get your products at a good rate as well, a good wholesale rate. So I just think that life is for the living, and I want to live it to the best.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Can you go into a little more detail about the sleep system? Because I believe that's the core of our amazing active wellness work together with water because we respond better to have all good things if we're fully hydrated. But can you just talk about more about your experience with the sleep system, Ann?
Well, one other factor, I was able to utilize the mattress pad. As I said, it allowed me to sleep 4 hours when I first tried it. I hadn't been sleeping more than 2 hours at a time, and I was really in a bad way. And I also added the comforter, which my husband and I use exclusively. We have the lightweight for the summer months, which are kind of short in New Hampshire, but we have the winter weight or the Kenko Dream Comforter for most of the season. And what that does is that allows you to not fight over the blanket, because I was always putting more blankets on before I had the comforter, and allows you to have more sound sleep, aside from the alkalization factor of it. So what you're doing is, instead of tossing and turning and waking up, you're staying in a REM or a full sleep, so your dreams are longer. And I actually feel refreshed when I wake up and recover from all of the activities. Last summer, I water skied 100 days, which means that's a lot of slalom skiing. I'm right on a lake, and I'm fortunate to do that. But every night, I got into that sleep system so that at 6 o'clock in the morning, I could jump out and get on behind my boat. So to me, the sleep system is the flagship product. It's a key. But when the water came along, it just added an extra component. And of course, the nutritionals are just an added benefit.
Absolutely. Yes. Oh, I'm so glad you asked. Described that so well, the impact of that sleep system. So, what can you talk a little bit more about the nutritionals?
Sure. Nikken does all the thinking for us. And I trust the company after 16 years of being not only a consultant, but also a consumer. And the key to the nutritionals is finding what your basic needs are. Everyone needs some kind of multivitamin supplement. And so Nikken has gender-specific ones. So my husband takes the one formulated for men, and I take the one formulated for women. And we do that every day. I also just spoke to someone a few minutes ago about the immunity compound, which we're all exposed to airborne germs, even if you wash your hands and take extra special care. And especially in the wintertime, unless we're out on the slopes, we are inside a lot. So what I found is that the Nikken's immunity formula is phenomenal, because this lady was talking about she didn't get a flu shot. Well, I never get a flu shot, but she didn't get a flu shot, and she was sick 3 times this year. So she and I are now going to talk about the nutritionals. The Jade Greenzymes, which is a wonderful alkalizing formula that I take every day. And then the Bone Health Pack I am on because I want to have strong bones. I've had several friends that have broken their bones falling on the ice or other little tragedies. And I want to have healthy bones and teeth and skin and hair. So that with our great bone health options with lactoferrin and osteodense, and then of course the CalDense. So those are the items that I utilize every day, and I also drink Ciaga. My husband uses a progesterol to keep his blood sugar in line. I'm extremely excited about the new Everyday Organic program that I started just now. I had embarked on the program 10 years ago and had a lot of success in 3 months. And so I am really looking forward to using the components of it. The shake is delicious, and the organic enzymes is incredible. I'm just experiencing the slight benefits. I mean, the big benefits from the very mild enzyme combination, and on the digestion and the cleanse and the detox. I'm also drinking my matcha tea right now, and just whatever Nikken comes out with is always can be trusted, because they want to extend our lives too.
Thank you. That was great. I just, yeah, the new program that they made it so simple and put together, the detox, and the digestion, and like you say, it's always cutting edge, and they're always improving their formulas based on research around the world. And the sleep system is in its fourth generation since I joined 19 years ago, and it was making a difference even then. But it keeps getting better and better, closer to nature. It works directly with the body. So thank you, Ann Brienza. We run out of time, but I really appreciate you coming on as our guest. And um, I hope I'll meet you in person one of these days. And thanks so much for introducing us. And have a great week. And thank you all for joining. I'll share my closing slides here.
Thank you, Randy.
Oh, you're welcome. Let's see. We got to get through to our ending here. Good review, anyway. All right.
Thank you, ladies, for sharing.
Ask yourself what you can do to balance your life, and Nikken can be the tool. So become a customer, try something. Start with the water, the insoles, or get your sleep pad if sleep's an issue for you. And when you fall in love with the products, you're probably going to want to share them. And like Ann, you may discover that you want to become a consultant as well. And it can actually be a full-time career for many who want to stay home with their kids. And that's something I love as being a family counselor, that I not only help people cope, but I give them an option for actually having time with their families. And our kids need us more than they need anything else. They do well, especially if they have their parents and Nikken working together. So thanks for joining us. And this will be on my YouTube channel. And thank you all for joining, and thank you again, Ann Brienza from New Hampshire. So thank you, guys, and we had 9 or 10 people. That's great. So you can use this for your prospects and invite them to come on. Next week, I may be driving to Canada, so I'm not sure I'll be able to do it next week. So if I'm not there, you'll know what happened. And thank you for all your support and enthusiasm.
Thank you, Randy.
Thank you again, Ann. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Keep it rolling.
Yeah. All right. Bye-bye.